Good evening, everyone, and welcome back once again to Rogues Gallery Live. Like I said, everyone, it's Rogues Gallery Live. This is episode 102. This is our New York Comic-Con recap show and also live interactive chat. We have a lot of photos to look at. I've got to move Jeff Delaney to his right spot. There we go. We'll flip him over there. Yeah. And we're also now joined by Jeff, which is great. I want to do my introduction. So we have right here from Wayne Manor North, we have Mr. Dan Default.
Hey guys, hey everybody, glad to be back from New York Comic-Con, although kind of wish I was still there.
No kidding, no kidding. We also have Mr. Eric B. from All Things Art.
Hey guys, I'm still trying to recover from New York Comic-Con.
No doubt about it. From the Secret Sanctuary, Mr. Jeff Delaney has joined us once again.
Hey everybody, nice to be back in the bottom left square.
That's right, that's right. And last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Jeff Morris in the house. Hey Jeff, how's it going?
Good, everybody. Doing good. Hope everybody's doing well.
Doing great. As some of you know from my video today, I have been sick since on the way back from New York Comic-Con. Being around that many people, we were just talking about before the show, I kind of think is maybe the plane ride back, but a lot of people sneezing and coughing on the way back. So I think maybe that's where I picked it up. But, you know, we were around literally, I think 200, 300,000 people at any given time. So it was a lot of people, but it was a lot of fun. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about tonight. Just kind of our recap, what we thought about the show, what we were disappointed at with the show. There's definitely some disappointment there. But anyway, can't wait to talk about it. So anyway, how have you guys been? I literally just saw you two gentlemen, days ago. Yeah. And like you said, it's bittersweet because it's one of those events where you feel like you could go literally another week because you don't even see 5% of what you could see, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I felt like I got there Thursday morning and we hit the show floor by, I don't remember what time. It was kind of maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. And it just felt like we were running the whole time, and just trying to see as much as we could. And I still feel like I missed a ton, I mean, there were things I did. I checked a lot of boxes with the artists. And I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of stuff I did that I wanted to do, but man, I feel like I could have used 2 more days.
Well, we certainly felt like, we had priorities, we had things where we want, like you said, check off our boxes. We wanted to do certain things and certain artists that we wanted to see. It's almost, and I know we're going to get to this, but I'm almost kind of in a way glad that they didn't have the statues there, because if we had done all of that, think of all the stuff we would have missed that we did anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking that just the panels themselves took up a lot of time, a few hours. So.
Yep.
He's already frozen.
That's a new record.
Yeah.
He does look like he's contemplating Eric's remarks.
I thought he was like mesmerized by what I said. I was like, wow. I was really impressed by what I just said.
He looks a little sad, actually.
He kind of does look a little sad. It must be the running nose.
A little pensive.
Yeah, I think that the panels, though, Eric, while we wait for him to thaw out, the panels, I think, are an area where I haven't done a lot of them in the past, and I don't think I'm going to do a lot of them in the future.
Yeah, this was my first year doing panels, and I think Chris, I think we left the first panel. We had to leave early because we had to get to the second panel. So
yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say before I froze, so I do apologize. And I don't know if you guys just said it or not, but I was really disappointed in the Jim Lee panel because, the one that Jeff and I did in San Diego was really exciting. There was a lot of, big celebrity guests and big announcements, and, Capullo and Todd came out, and it was just really cool. But this one was a little slow.
Yeah. I could have skipped that one.
And, I'm sure there are panels that are really, really good, but I don't know. I'd rather be on the floor, I think.
You could tell to me at least, it felt like to me, and it could be just, look, if you look in line at Jim Lee's line for his autographs, right, which we all stood in at one point or another this past weekend, I would say God, no less than 75% of the people in line were having Batman things signed. Right. There was a sprinkling of X-Men, a sprinkling even of Wildcats, but for the most part, it was Batman by at least 3/4. And that that's the case in the room for his panel. And yet, so you could tell that they were sprinkling some Batman in there, I think, to keep the crowd happy, because you could just tell the crowd just being deflated. And then they talk about Batman and you could tell everybody perk up, and when Silvestri came out and, it just, by the way, that Batman and Joker, the Deadly Duo, looks awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It does indeed. And yeah, it was just one of those things where I think some of those panels are just there to, they're in a way kind of like commercial to kind of promote, some of the things that whatever initiative they're going for right now at DC Comics, and that's fine. Yeah. And I don't feel like they did that quite as much in San Diego as they did in New York. But I know Eric and I did the audio adventures, which was really cool, I thought. That was actually attended by Bobby Monahan from Saturday Night Live, who plays the Penguin. And then also, of course, the actor that plays Jim Gordon, Jeffrey Wright, was there as well. And so that was really neat. I had the opportunity to ask them a question, and so that was really cool. That was on the video, I think, from day one. But so that was cool. I felt like that was worth it. But even that went on a little long, I thought. And like Eric said, we had to leave. But
yeah,
it was what it was.
But I would have loved to have seen that Picard panel.
Say that again.
I would have loved to have seen that Picard panel. That looked really fun.
And that Star Trek panel, actually, I had reservations for, but I didn't go.
Oh no.
And same thing with, I had Eric and I had reservations for the Drew Barrymore, Jamie Lee Curtis panel, which I love Drew Barrymore. I love Jamie Lee Curtis and Halloween. Halloween's my favorite movie, but we skipped it to go to dinner. So it's like, I would rather hang out with my friends and my fellow collectors and then go do that. So I don't regret that decision because we had a lot of fun, even though dinner took like 3 hours that night. It was a blast. It was a blast.
I would have liked to gone to the Back to the Future panel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Boy, that's got a lot of press coverage.
Yeah, I was watching a lot of recaps on that.
It's everywhere.
That one was really, really difficult to get to. That was sold out by the time we tried to get tickets or try to get reservations. And that was something that was new this year, apparently, where before it was, I don't know, was it some sort of lottery system, Eric, or something where you had to, just kind of be lucky. And this time you had to
I think so. Like I said, this is my first year doing panels, so I'm not too sure.
But I just found the panels to be more stress than they're worth from a time standpoint. And don't get me wrong, we all stand in lines at these things, but standing in line on the show floor is different than just kind of hanging out in the hallway for a panel. I don't know. It doesn't hold much allure for me. But
for me, it was interesting. I think I'm actually going to do a video. I actually had a couple people request just to hear my thoughts on the differences between New York and San Diego. Yeah, now that I've done both, and I think I will do a video on that. But one thing I did notice is I felt like as busy and as rushed as I was, or at least I put myself to that point in San Diego, I felt like it was more of a rush to get places in New York. And I don't really know why that was. Again, maybe just I felt like there was too much that I wanted to do. I don't know. It was just because I was there about the same amount of time. Actually, I think I was in New York a little bit longer. Because I went back on Saturday. So that was pretty crazy. $4.99 super chat from Jason Lean. New York Comic Con is slower than San Diego. Barely any announcements. Sorry, I didn't get to say hello, although I would have beat the crowds to meet Jeff. That's awesome. Anyway, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that meetup, which was really, really cool. So, well, first of all, this right here was awesome for me because I've met Dan before briefly. I mean, it was it was less than 24 hours, which was great. But I also got to meet with Eric for the very first time, and I don't know, it just felt like we've been hanging out forever, which was really cool. And got to hang around the entire show. So that was really, really awesome. And it'll be something I'll never forget in my life. And then this right here, this was just absolutely incredible. What do you guys think of this meetup?
Oh, it was a blast.
Yeah.
I did not expect that many people to show up. I mean,
And this isn't everybody.
Oh no, this isn't everybody. This is just kind of one corner of the group. You know, there was probably 3 times this in total. It was really cool. Yeah, didn't expect that at all. I thought it might be just me, you, and Eric kind of standing around talking to each other, but but it was really good.
What do you think about it, Eric?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to finally meet, you know, the faces behind the, you know, the avatars on, you know, Facebook and the YouTube channels, and be able to speak in person, you know, and not sit there text messaging online. So it was, you know, fun having actual discussions with people in person.
It's really, really awesome. The first one that came up was Joe Latore, which was really, really cool. And that's kind of where we thought, well, maybe this will be it. And then that's kind of when everybody else started, you know, coming out and saying hello and just hanging out and take pictures and all kinds of stuff. And I know there was a lot of people there that I felt bad that they said, you know, we were so busy that they didn't want to, you know, come in and, you know, meet us or whatever. They felt like they were, you know, out of place or whatever. But please, next time, please come and say hello. Because it was just so much fun. Got to meet the spouses, which is a lot of fun. Just incredible. We got to, you know, hang out with Charles Carosa from Choice Fine Art. That was awesome. Do a little booth tour. I know Dan is a little poorer today because of this guy right here.
Yeah,
a little bit, no doubt. And then, you know, this is kind of how we ended things, you know, which is what's my favorite photo, I think, from the entire event. And that's exactly how we felt and how we felt kind of today, because again, we went hard.
Yeah, no, we did. We did not stop the entire time. We were going from breakfast at 8 in until whenever after dinner at night. I mean,
yeah, most mornings we met for breakfast, and then we went and just went nonstop. Sometimes we're together. Sometimes we went our separate ways, depending on what mission we were going on. I know like Dan and Matt were, Matt Mullen from the Facebook group, he was going, you know, you guys were upstairs some of the time while we were kind of holding fort downstairs. And downstairs is where, and that's another thing about New York Comic Con has a much bigger artist alley. Much more space allotted, and which is good and bad because it's separate. Like it's downstairs, you have to kind of go down some escalators and then go down more escalators just to get to the artist alley area. Whereas in San Diego, it's all on one floor. At least that part is. So you can kind of come and go, which does save a little bit of time. But a lot more artists in general there, which was awesome. What do you guys think about the? I don't know. How do you think that went with the artist alley? Do you think that went pretty smooth? Obviously, some of the times not matching up was kind of frustrating.
I thought it went about as smooth as it could go. The great thing about New York is the number of, you know, yes, A-list artists, but also just names you recognize, right? You walk down those, 8 aisles or whatever there is down there, just giant space. And it's one name after another that you recognize. And you've got kind of the contemporary A-listers. You've got some of the, you know, A-listers from back in the day, you know, and some of the artists that really, you know, they're going to draw a crowd. But, you know, one, for example, at the front of the room, at the end of one of the aisles was Peach Momoko. And holy cow, the lines that she drew. Some of the biggest, I think, that I saw there. I mean, Peach, Kevin Eastman, certainly Capullo and Snyder, and of course Jim Lee, where Jim had his own kind of curtained off, draped off area in the back corner of the room. Those probably had the biggest lines, but man, Peach Momoko's lines were crazy.
Is that I think I heard that person, they had to shut down the line or they left or something like that.
Well, I read a little bit more about that. And what happened was, you know, some of the vendors, so whether, you know, comic book vendors like the Comic Mint or KRS, those companies, as well as Whatnot, they paid the artists to be in their booth to do signings and that kind of thing. Well, apparently Whatnot did that with Peach, and of course got, again, more huge lines. But apparently what happened was people that had been in line for Peach noticed that there were some of our favorite, YouTube comic sellers had gotten into the booth early, didn't have to wait in line. And apparently there was some pushing and shoving and everything else in that line as a result. And Peach just kind of said, nope, I'm out. To her credit, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I heard the same thing. It's the same, the same crew, unfortunately, because.
But these people had short boxes full of books. I've heard that they had like 100, 150 books. They wanted remarks. They wanted, and she was signing for free, but charging for the remarks.
Yep.
And it overwhelmed her, and she left.
Yep. Don't blame her at all.
Again, it's unfortunate because there's already been controversy, at the last con or whatever, and now here it is again. But to her credit, she did set up like the next day. She went to some shop or somewhere in New York the next day and signed for a whole bunch of people.
Yeah. Well, she signed a ton in her own booth. She had her own booth in Artist Alley, and man, like I said, the lines were insane.
And Bill came too.
What's that?
And Bill came to that too.
Bill.
I always say his name wrong. Sienkiewicz, is that right?
Sienkiewicz, yep.
Sienkiewicz, yeah. Bill came with her and signed as well.
Oh, that's interesting.
So that was, I think, maybe Monday or yesterday.
Yeah.
So in San Diego, they don't allow lineups on the floor before the doors open, and I think that is probably a good practice to do.
I think so.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, because that's right, and they don't allow our exhibitor badges, right? To line up. You can't, like, if you've got a badge that gets you in early, you're not supposed to line up, right?
Well,
I think that's a by vendor thing, at least in San Diego.
To be honest, this year I didn't see much of any security walking the floor this year. Did you guys see security at all? I know sometimes they have undercover, like,
I saw some New York State troopers walking around at one point. Okay. But I didn't see any Javits security, and maybe they're plain clothes and
it could be
just kind of blend in. But
yeah,
I thought that the one thing that I had to compliment them on was the security at the gate as you walked in. They weren't traditional metal detectors. They had some really cool technology. Eric got busted with it, but Eric got busted with it. But the security going through, they use this. It's a combination of it detects certain materials and it uses cameras to look at shapes in your bag. And I mean, it's really, really sophisticated, but it just meant that you just kept on walking through. It was, I thought it was really cool.
This is the
in his bag though. This
is the same kind of security that Disney's been using, and I think they were one of the very first in the country to use it.
Oh wow!
And they are phenomenal because it's again just keep moving. They want as many people through as possible, and it seems to be highly effective. But I did, sorry again, I froze again, of course. But I did want to go into hearing about the security, medical, also just organization, talking to a lot of people. And again, Ryan's comment here, I thought some of the lines at New York Comic Con were very unorganized, although I think coming back from COVID may have contributed to this. I'm part of a lot of the different Facebook groups for New York Comic Con, the badge holders group and things like that. And I've seen so many comments about people saying how unorganized it felt compared to other years. Did you feel that way, Eric, as somebody who's gone a lot?
Yeah, I felt it was a little bit more organized past years, but it was also, like you said, at the same time, it was a little bit slower getting in past years. So
that was one thing. I also heard from vendors that, it was very unorganized the way that they had to deal with their handlers and where some of the like I know Dan and Matt and I, we were talking to the one vendor in the corner that did the World War II photos with Star Wars, and he wasn't very happy because he wasn't where he was supposed to be originally, and they kind of put him in a corner. So I know that he and some other groups were upset with the way they were placed. Also, again, security. I didn't see hardly any security. I know medical. God bless this guy. So there was a man on a gurney that was, as I was coming in on Saturday morning, they were doing chest compressions on him, wheeling him out. I since have found out that he did pass away. Oh, wow. And he had a stroke. Yes, he had a stroke and a heart attack, and he was a well-known cosplayer. Was a really big guy. I mean, well over probably 350 pounds at least. But it's just very, very sad. And it said it took 20 minutes for personnel to get there. which, you know, I commented to my wife a lot. It's like, I always wonder in the city like this is like, because it's so hard for vehicles to get in and out, and like, you know, people don't move for the personnel, you know, the ambulances and things. And like, it would be really difficult to get anywhere fast in an emergency.
Yeah.
And so you just wonder, it's like, and a lot of people in the groups again were commenting like, why didn't they have a medical staff on hand at the center for a group that size? You know, that you know, there's hundreds of thousands of people. But I don't know, those are all things I noticed that were kind of surprising to me. Did you guys kind of feel the same?
I wasn't even thinking about medical staff until you just mentioned it. But like I said, I did notice there was a lack of security this year. Usually you would see them walking around the floor and stuff like that. So
yeah, I have to be honest, I wasn't really looking, but I also didn't notice any. I didn't notice a strong security presence, you know.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, on the website it did say they would be in plain clothes, so maybe they, like, you know.
Yeah,
you just didn't notice.
I got to imagine they're watching. I mean, that's a lot of people and an opportunity for a bad actor to do some serious damage if they want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe they thought with the metal detectors and everything else that maybe, you know, they didn't need it as much.
But the medical piece, that's something I'm sure that is now going to come into question. You know, there should be, you know, what comes to mind for me is, you know, our local baseball park is Fenway Park. And when you go in Fenway Park, God, when you're in the concourse kind of underneath the grandstands where all the food vendors are and all that other stuff, you can't walk more than 50, not even 25, 30 yards. It's like every so often they have a full medical staff waiting there. They've got a gurney, they've got EMTs, and they're all just sitting around chit-chatting, but they're waiting for the call, right? And then you see at least a few entrances that have ambulances backed up right to the garage door. They're ready to go. And, you know, and that, by the way, is for 37,000 people.
Right.
We're talking 200,000 people.
At least.
So just the fact that there was no visible signs of med teams ready to go, that's probably a miss on their part.
Yeah. And they said, you know, it just, people were really disappointed in everybody. They're like, when this guy's on the floor and people are taking pictures of him, you know, it's like,
oh, wow. It's
just things like that you hear are disappointing. But even though there were some negatives, clearly there were a ton of positives.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, the positives definitely outweighed the negatives.
Yep.
Duras Bane won $5 super chat. Thank you very much. I'm super excited for the Silvestri Deadly Duo. I ordered the signature series. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Show and tell.
Give you a little preview here of that because.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, right here.
How cool is that?
So this right here is from Mark Silvestri. This is a little teaser of what you guys are going to get the next couple of days, but this is actually signed by him, which is really great. And this is a preview of the Batman and Joker, the Deadly Duo. I won't show you the inside yet. You guys are going to have to get it yourself. That's Black cool. Label, but we were fortunate enough to get a copy whenever at the Jim Lee panel. So this was a positive of that Jim Lee panel that we were talking about earlier. But basically, the reason I'm showing you this is because a little teaser here. The next 3 days. So tomorrow, you're going to get the full haul video of Dan from Wayne Manor North.
Well, mine's tomorrow.
Yours is tomorrow.
Well,
yes, go ahead.
It's up for members already, I think. I watched it today.
Oh, it's up.
Yeah, it's already up for members. I was just going to say that Eric is the next day, and then I am the next day after that. So we got 3 days of haul videos, and they're all so impressive. It's amazing what we all. Oh my God, so much money.
It's kind of stupid. it really is kind of stupid.
It's just stupid.
I have a couple of show and tell pieces that weren't in the video that I forgot.
Oh yeah, you did forget that.
I forgot this one. This is Will Jack's Harley Quinn 13. Nice. That's signed. That was a great pickup. And then well, I won't say any more other than this is a really cool book.
Oh,
super cool.
And that's what you bought
in Alex's booth. So that was super cool. And then this other Will Jack Catwoman. Just a beautiful cover. I call this the Megan Fox Catwoman.
Yeah. I don't think I saw you bought that one.
Oh yeah. Had to get this one. And then I counted it up today. So the books that I had signed on the show floor by various artists, I have 13 books that went to CGC from the show.
Wow.
So it was kind of a haul, you know.
Yeah, that's definitely a haul. So again, the next 3 days are going to be nothing but haul videos for you guys. So it's just incredible, all the things that we brought home and the artists that we met. Absolutely incredible. So
it was just one opportunity after another, you know, and
right.
And, you know, the other piece that I just found on the positive side, you know, to stay kind of positive here, all of the artists, I can't think of one that wasn't just really cool. You know, they were all very friendly. I mean, some more so than others. You know, we all talked about how great Jock is, just phenomenal human being, just a really good person. I mean, everybody was super nice. Finch was super, super nice, so accommodating. You know, he kind of stands out. Jim was quick. You know, Jim Lee, but because he had to be, he's got a million people in line, but he was super, super nice. You know, he took the time to talk. So I thought that was a big takeaway for me. A positive takeaway was just how pleasant everybody was. Nobody was put off, or, you know, you felt like you were encroaching on their time, or, you know.
I'm just laughing because I'm thinking about Capullo.
Oh,
Yeah, we had quite a conversation with Capullo, which he was not very happy about a certain situation, but it was very, very funny, and dropping F-bombs left and right. So I can't talk about it here, but it was very, very crazy.
Capullo can go off. I don't know if you follow. I don't know if you follow his Twitter, but man, Capullo can go off when he's passionate about something.
Yeah, he's very passionate, and it was just one of the coolest things I've ever heard him say. It was very, very cool. So. Again, great experience, everybody. One thing that I was amazed, and I want to give a shout out to Duran Baines. Just became a Brotherhood member. Thank you very, very much. I really, really appreciate that. That is so great of you. Thank you very, very much. Welcome to the Brotherhood of the Bat. So
Chris,
anyway,
Scott L wants to know if one of us pissed Capullo off.
No, but there was maybe, I'll just say it, maybe a company that might have pissed him off. So I'll just say that. But anyway, it was quite a conversation that me and Scott Snyder had, and it was crazy. But anyway, it was really cool to be able to talk to like people we've had relationships with the channel that recognize us. Like, that's pretty exciting. Sean Murphy or Ryan Brown, having those great conversations.
Oh yeah.
And then being excited to see us, and we're excited to see them and talk to them. We had a great conversation with Ryan Brown, which is awesome. Great conversation with Sean Murphy, as I'm sure some of you guys saw on the channel. And I use my phone, so next time I'll have an actual microphone. I know some people complained about the audio, and I do apologize. I wasn't really planning on anything other than just, filming what I saw. So again, I want to give a shout out to Dan and Eric, or anybody else that helped film. So that was absolutely incredible. Thank you guys for doing that. And Scott Snyder recognized, he was like, I know that guy. It's like, it's just neat to have a platform like this, and then have a small relationship with these incredible artists. So I thought that was definitely a plus. So again, way more positives than negatives, but let's go a little bit negative. Let's go a little bit negative and talk about the elephant in the room. Where the hell were the statue companies? Where were they? Let's dive into that. So obviously, whenever Jeff and I was in San Diego, that was a absolute blast. Everybody was there, except for XM. I mean, but they had a few XM statues represented there at one of the booths.
Yep.
But Queen had a representation. Iron Studios had a massive booth. I mean, Sideshow, of course, had Prime One and things there. It was just awesome. And the Tweeterhead and talking with everybody was, except for Sideshow. Sideshow wasn't sure. But everybody was like, yeah, we're going to be in New York. We're even going to premiere these certain pieces. Talking with Queen Studios, they were going to be there. PCS was going to be there. I don't know about Iron Studios, but everybody was kind of planning on being there. And for whatever reason, we had heard rumors. We had talked to some booths that heard that maybe prices had doubled or tripled floor space wise. But let's talk about it. What do you guys think about the statue companies not being at New York Comic Con?
I think Sideshow learned with COVID that they can do a pretty good job of setting up a booth at their own offices and save a ton of money.
Yeah.
It would cost a lot of money to ship all that product to New York, and all the employees necessary to make that show happen. It's different. San Diego, they can throw it all in a truck and drive an hour and a half south on the freeway. New York's got to be a huge expense for them, and they're doing a pretty good job of doing the show straight from their offices.
I think you're right. I think that's exactly what they did. I mean, I've kind of heard rumors that maybe that's the only show that they will do, actually is San Diego, because, it is what it is. But, we were talking quite a bit about, it's just such a, and I get it. I get the expense part of it, but there were so many people that could have put their eyes on Sideshow's products for the very first time and missed that opportunity. What do you think about that, Dan?
We all know it because we say it all the time on this show. These pieces of art are very different in person than what you see on the video screen, and so I agree with Jeff, and in that Sideshow has shown that they have the capability of doing a good job with a virtual con, but it's a different experience for a show visitor to see that same artwork in person. And some of them are really different, right? Some of these pieces just present completely different in person, and always it's for the good. So, I mean, look, they're making their business decision. I'm sure that show must cost them, I mean, God, well into six figures, probably a couple $100,000. But if I was their marketing consultant, I would advise them the opposite direction. It's not, I hear a lot of chatter about people saying, well, they could sell this many statues or that many statues. It's not about that. I think it's more about creating new collectors, right? Creating people that are going to do what we do, which is buy statues on the regular, right? That to me is the missed opportunity, because I'm not sure that achieving that is nearly as straightforward. I don't want to say easy, but as straightforward as it can be in person. So I think that's the missed opportunity. And how much is that customer worth over time?
I agree 100%. Good Guano said, way more people can be reached online than a single con. And I get that idea. I get that point, but I'm over on the Sideshow YouTube channel right now. Let's talk about it. So we've got Sideshow. The first day, the booth tour has 16,000 views. Okay. The booth 2 has 6.2K. The booth tour 3 has 7.7K, and the booth tour part 4 has 5.5K. The difference is you had over 200,000 people each day for 4 days at New York. It's way more people, right? And again, it goes back to Dan. I understand that and maybe over time those views will go up, but I still think that you're trying to target those new casual people. And again, that was one of my favorite things. And Jeff and I talked about it in San Diego, is just to be able to listen to the casual collector go by. And the one that sticks out to me is the Harley Quinn with the base that just came out. And everybody in the community didn't like the base, but people next to me that were the casual people, like, oh my God, I love this base. How great is that? You would think that that's who Sideshow would want. They would want those people. They would, be targeting those people. I don't know. Again, I just feel like it was a missed opportunity, but it wasn't just Sideshow. I mean, what do you think it was that nobody came? It wasn't just that them, so we can't just pick on them. But I mean, Eric, why do you think XM or Queen Studios or any of those companies? Why do you think they weren't there?
I don't know. Originally, I thought it was going back to the price went up, triple the price supposedly, but at the same time, there were vendors there this year that have been there every single past year, and they showed up. They're smaller companies, and they're still showing up. So I don't know if it's about the money or maybe about trying to get employees down there to set up. There's a shortage of staff. It seems to be everywhere, but I don't know. It's a mystery. I'm a little bit surprised that not one statue company showed up. It's very strange.
Doesn't it make you feel like something in particular must have happened?
Almost
all of them,
That's
and
the thing.
especially from June, or was it July in
July.
San Diego?
Well, I have another.
July
I
to
have another
October.
theory. I have
Yep.
another theory. Ready? Second theory. So my last time at New York was 2019, and I know Eric actually went last year. But in 2019, Sideshow and XM were both right up front on the main show floor. In one of the three main entrances, they were right up front. I wonder if they didn't sign a contract for this year, if they were kind of waiting. And I wonder if Reed Pop sold the space and they couldn't get the space they wanted. And they probably were looking at it as like, okay, we're getting our second or maybe third choice of space, and it's 2 to 3 times more money.
Yeah.
That could have played a part, because one thing that we saw was at the main entrances, at least for 2/3 of the hall, you saw a ton of anime. You know, I mean, Funko took up their giant spot, as they always do, right up front. But then there were a couple of big anime companies that unfortunately I'm not familiar with, but they took a ton of real estate. And I wonder if they just waited too long to secure their space. It got sold out from under them, and they didn't want to spend the money on less desirable space.
Well, especially if it goes back to what we were talking about, if some of those handlers were being maybe difficult to work with in terms of being flexible or what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, I'm sure everybody was hedging. And to be honest with you, normally I would probably want to beat up the show producer, for problems like this. But it can't be easy for anybody coming out of COVID, because nobody can predict what kind of crowds are we going to see. Just all kinds of variables out there that aren't normally there. So kind of can't blame anybody. And, but I think it would help. That dynamic would help explain why none of the statue companies came. The two big ones that were right up front, that would explain that. And then Queen, who, I don't know, Eric, how big Queen's booth was last year, but when in 2019, they had like an 8x10 in row.
Same thing last year. It was just basically like a few tables set up next to each other.
Yeah. So I think Queen probably looked at it and said, well, if they're not coming, we're not coming. And plus we have this Vegas event that we're doing.
That's what I was just going to bring up, is that Vegas is this weekend, I think.
Yeah.
And are you going, Jeff? Did you decide?
No, I decided it was too expensive to go.
Obviously you have to consider flights, you have to consider hotel, you have to consider the price of the event, because it was a charged event. It was a private, I don't remember if it was like 150 or something like that to go.
They were charging a gate fee?
They were charging because they were worried people would register and then not show up. So they wanted a commitment.
Yeah. So I was a little disappointed in that.
I didn't go.
Yeah. I know there are a few collectors in the community that are going. So hopefully that'll be a good show. It sounded like a lot of the statues were going to be stuff that we had seen, except maybe a few add-ons, obviously some in-art stuff that we haven't seen in person. So that's going to be exciting to see. And I hope it's good. I know that Queen Studios wants to do multiple events across the country like this. Again, I feel like I don't know. You're going to draw people that are already your fans.
Yep.
Whereas if you would have just had a booth in New York, you would have had hundreds of thousands of people see your product maybe for the first time and say, "Ooh, I want that."
Yeah.
And so again, I just feel like
But they did have that in San Diego.
Right. And that's exactly. I mean, people were in awe of those pieces.
Yeah.
And drawn to them. And I just don't really understand their thinking on that, but it is what it is.
Keep in mind with both XM and with Queen that they put out a lot of stuff that doesn't have a North American license.
Yeah.
So they're not going to display that stuff here.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They have limited stock. And another thing with XM, and I've said this before, if they're going to have a North American distributor, I think part of that contract should be that distributor has to exhibit at a certain number of shows across the country.
It's a good idea.
I think that's awesome. For sure. We were kind of half joking, not really, but at dinner one night, the three of us were like, we really just need to be the business managers for all these companies. I feel like, you know, and maybe we don't know all the ins and outs, but I feel like we would do a pretty damn good job of promoting these things if we had the opportunity, because I just feel like there's so many missed opportunities there to get eyes on product. But
I think Sideshow makes mistakes in California alone. I mean, WonderCon is a sizable convention, and it's so close to Sideshow, it's ridiculous. And they don't do anything there at all. They don't do anything at LA Comic-Con, which is right around the corner from them. So I'm not sure why San Diego is the only show that they seem to be setting up at anymore.
Well,
like
do
you
you
said-
think Sideshow's online con was good this year? That we missed anything? If they were set up at New York, I mean, usually when they come to New York, they just bring whatever they showed previously at San Diego. It's usually nothing really new.
so that's a good point.
It
So
would have
what-
been the same. I mean, a couple of years ago, there were some really good releases at New York Comic Con. They had Batman Who Laughs and Darkseid, and another good one Black Canary. Those were all at New York. This year, they only had the Star Wars probe droid. That was the only new Sideshow product that I can remember.
Yeah, I didn't
So,
really watch it too much, but I really didn't see anything that caught my interest. Just
That's
you know,
what I
watching
was just
it.
going to say. So let's say that the Sideshow Con was actually at New York. Would we have been disappointed? Or would we have been like, oh, this is still cool. It's still awesome to see the statues in person.
It still would have been cool, but
Well, there's a lot of people that would have seen them in New York that did not see them in San Diego.
That's true.
But it was very underwhelming. I did not watch them as they happened. I sped through till I saw what I wanted and went on.
And that's what I did with my reaction video. Is like I just kind of tried to pick out the things that, you know, we hadn't seen before. Or they were kind of newish. And there were only a number of pieces, not really from Sideshow, other than that, like you said, that the probe droid.
which, by the way, is freaking cool.
It's awesome. We'll talk about it when we get to the photos. But like, yeah, I think it's one of the coolest things that they've done in a while. I think it looks really great. And a lot of new stuff from PCS, which we'll look at. And so anyway,
just to go back, we didn't get the big companies, but there are statue booths there. I did get to see statues that I've never seen before in person. So, I mean, it was still nice to see, you know, some stuff there from, you know, just the regular vendors that show up and bring statues with them and stuff.
yeah, I mean, that was a lot of fun to see some of those comic book shops there at the con. And then obviously we took a tour, which was incredible, to go to Midtown Comics with Dan, Eric, Matt, and of course George Raw joined us and his nephew, which was awesome. We had an incredible dinner that night. That was, I think one of my favorite parts of the entire weekend. That dinner was just absolutely incredible. I know that was my wife's favorite part of the entire
That was a
trip.
blast.
And even I said even and that was even higher up on her list than seeing the Broadway shows. So I thought that was that was pretty awesome. That I just thought that was really special that we did that.
Dan put on a good show that night.
Yes, he did. Yeah, you guys only saw a very small taste of that evening, but it was very, very fun. And I don't know. Then we went to, like I said, we went to Midtown and saw the statues there. So it was incredible. And David, yes, we do promote these companies. We do. We believe in their art. We believe in what they're doing. We just feel like they could sometimes do things in a little bit better way. Again, it's just like our plan was to see statues while we were there. And like I said, I don't even know if we had the opportunity to see them, because think of all the other stuff we would have missed that we did anyway. So it's
You would have found time.
probably.
Or at least, you know, just show up for the fans at least. You don't have to have a huge presence, but at least bring some stuff in.
Well, that's what's weird too, is that they sent the whole team to like an escape room thing on Saturday night. It was like a finger food giveaway, and I didn't even really see anything. I didn't see any photos from that. I saw them do an escape room, but they sent their whole Sideshow crew there, but no statues. So I thought that was, I don't know.
That's the problem I have with Alex Ross. His booth and his work is amazing, but the guy never shows up. It's like, come on, just show up for your fans. You live in New York. You can, show up once in a while for a few minutes and make a present.
Yeah. How were your hotels? My hotel, and Dan and I stayed in the same hotel. I don't know. We probably won't give it out, but it was a really, really great hotel near the convention. So everybody that I talked to really liked where they stayed, and so I don't know, everything was great. I enjoyed the channel's New York Comic-Con videos. They were informative, entertaining, and short. And that's the thing is, like, I know Eric did a great video on his channel as well. That was kind of my thinking on the video, was just to kind of show what it was like to be there. You know, just, I mean, a small taste. Again, there's a million things that we missed.
Yeah.
There's no way you can see it all.
And before we just move on, I just want to say this was my favorite year. I mean, just having you guys there made it that much more fun. Without the, didn't even need the statues to be there. I had a blast. So,
yeah, I said that was the best part, is just hanging out. You know, just being able to hang out, and
I second that. It was just it was an absolute blast.
Same thing with San Diego. I mean, being able to hang out with Jeff was just incredible. And again, you got the two Jeffs. You have no idea how many times that we said we wish you guys were there.
Oh my God.
So many times.
I would have loved to, but there were so many people there that, man, it would have been fun to hang out with you guys, but not the other however many 100,000 there were.
It was a lot, and there were wall-to-wall people, especially on Saturday. I mean, it was, but there were pockets. There were pockets of space from time to time.
There really were. There were a few times when it got really thick. But
I think I might have had a peach Momoko breakdown.
It tended to thin out. You're not like, crazy, but you could walk, and there were a few times. And you know what happened though? What I found, whether I was with you, Chris, or Eric, or Matt, or whatever, or whomever, we would, if one area was really thick like that, we just go to a different part of the con that wasn't.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't all jammed up like that, which actually for me, and again, I've only, just been to San Diego like 30 times. I've been once, but my one experience there, it was packed like that the entire time. There was no, quieter parts of the show floor, or,
the gold and silver age pavilion.
The gold. Yeah. I can understand.
If you need a rest, that's the place to go.
Yeah. But
we had a private lounge, and we didn't even make use of it. We went there before the doors opened, Chris. I don't know if you remember, and we just never went back to it.
Yeah,
but
I don't. Again, there's so much that we didn't do or see, but a lot of it is not our thing either. I mean, like somebody said earlier, it's like a lot of anime. There's a lot of like the exclusive Funko giveaway-ish type of things at all these different booths, and none of that interests me at all. If it did, I mean, I could see that being a big giant time suck. Because there was a lot of people waiting in line for a lot of different things.
Oh, that Funko booth. They built a whole like 2-story building on the show.
Constantly. Yeah, constantly a line.
It's crazy.
And again, if that's your thing, but again, we're statue collectors and art collectors, and that's what we enjoy, comic book collectors. So that I am thankful that there's something for everybody at these type of shows.
Yep.
And again, it exposes you. Again, it goes back to the statue companies not being there. It exposes you to a lot of things that you might not even know about. Like that World War II artist. Again, I go back to him. Like I had not seen his work in person. It was freaking awesome. But
what was that?
Do you remember, Dan?
Somebody mentioned the name of his company is 13th Floor.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
And he does this kind of mashup of vintage World War II photography and Star Wars, kind of blends them together. So you see like things like TIE fighters making attack runs on Navy destroyers.
That's really cool.
They were so good.
It's really well done. Like it looks like, it's tough to pick up on the photoshopping other than the obvious, but
right.
Yeah, but I'm going to see him again. He'll be at Rhode Island too, Chris, in a few weeks.
But again, my point is that I had eyes on it. I had physical eyes on it, and I just thought it was awesome. So again, I just feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities when people aren't there, for sure.
Somebody was just asking if Hot Toys was there. Joel Basham.
Joel.
Yeah. No, they weren't. No.
Yeah, if Sideshow's not there, they are not there.
These were the companies that were there. We had Cryptozoic, we had Diamond Select,
Diamond.
and we had NECA.
Yeah.
Those were the companies represented.
Was McFarland? Did McFarland have a booth? I don't even
Nope.
know.
No McFarlane toys. And he had a big presence at this show.
I have to be honest, guys. I didn't really miss the statues at all.
Yeah.
Even Monster Palooza had PCS and Tweeterhead.
Right. I think, is it this weekend? Is Son of Monster Palooza this weekend? I know Dave Igo posted.
Yeah, I don't expect any statues to be there, so we're not going to go.
Yeah. But again, for us, it was the art and it was the community. I think that made it, again, just being able to hang out with these fine gentlemen and all the collectors, again, that said hello. There were a ton of collectors that said hello outside of that meet and greet, which was really cool.
We kept getting stopped, pretty frequently for pictures and just chat, which was just so awesome, it was
really
great.
neat.
But and we I think, Chris, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Jeff Morris's. We met Jeff Morris's biggest fans.
Yes, we did. We did. Yeah,
So
we did.
Eric has a collector friend, Billy. And Billy was there with his two boys. And I don't know, what are they, 10, 12 years old, something like that?
Yeah.
Right around there. And their favorite part of watching this show is Jeff Morris. You are absolutely their favorite rogue. And they have like little wagers between them around when's he going to drink from the giant cup. In the giant cup. They'll notice like Jeff's not in his chair. Oh God, he got up again.
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
There it is. There. Show him the big mug. There you go. Yep, there it is.
Oh my God, they were going on and on about how they love Jeff.
They were like, you are by far their favorite. So it was so cool to listen to that. I loved it. I loved it. I forgot that they had said that. That was so great.
So funny. Yeah, it was awesome.
It was really.
I'm
really
unpredictable, if anything.
So
and I could say anything.
My goal at some point still will be to get the five of us together.
It's got to happen somehow.
It's got to happen.
Maybe C2E2, kind of middle of the country.
Maybe we'll see something maybe a little smaller. I don't know, but I am planning on doing San Diego again probably next summer. So hopefully that'll happen. And again, I don't know if you guys can swing it, but I would love to all of us to get together at some point. I think we'd have a blast.
I'm considering it. I've never been there before. I've never even been to California before, so I'm considering.
Wow, that'd be awesome. Well,
come.
I was going to say, this guy showed me everywhere to go. And I actually have a little bit of an idea now where to go, so that helps a little bit. So we would love that. It would be incredible. But again, from top to bottom, guys, it was an incredible weekend. I want to thank you just for everything, hanging out. It was just so much fun, and it was a trip I'll never forget for sure. And again, thanks to everybody that came up and said hello. That was really awesome. And again, hopefully we can do it all again. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I forgot to tell you, thanks for filming everything, because it captured all the great moments, and just rewatching everything was so much fun. I was just cracking up a lot of times just watching the videos over again. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was great footage.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing all that we did. Like, we did a lot in a couple of days.
A real lot. Yeah.
Which was crazy. Everybody, this was another one on my list, is MegaCon. That's another one that everybody says that we should go to
in March.
Yeah, in March. So anyway, well, we've talked for about an hour now about New York. Do you guys want to say anything else about your experience, or do you want to move on to photos?
I think I'm good. I mentioned a lot more in my my whole video, so stay tuned for that.
And again, tomorrow, Dan's haul video, then Eric's video, and then my video for all of our hauls from New York Comic Con.
I didn't give you a lot to work with there in terms of intros and outros and editing and all that stuff. I thought it was going to be part of a bigger video. So
I just uploaded it straight how you did it.
Oh, good.
So,
okay.
So I think it was fantastic. Again, the idea was that we were going to do like one big video. And I'm like, Dan's was so good. And it was like, I don't know, 16 minutes or something. I'm like, this is a great video. I'm just going to let it be what it is. And then Eric sent me his. I'm like, this is another freaking awesome video. So again, it's amazing how much we bought.
Yeah.
We bought a ton. So Anyway, that'll be up the next couple days.
Even have some things for the next Rogues auction.
I was gonna say we
Whenever
do have
that
some things. We do have some things already for the next Rogues auction. I talk about that in my video. So
Oh, wait a minute. Ryan Eckholt saying no mention of the double live unboxing coming up.
oh yeah, let's promote that too. So we have a double live. Dan, do you want to tell us about it? Dan and Eric.
Yeah. So it turns out that Eric and I both have our Batman Detective 1000 Jason Fabok statue coming in roughly the same time.
Mine's actually here. I just
Did it come in already?
I have repairs boxes, statues inside of boxes like everywhere throughout my house, and I just have nowhere to put it at the moment. I need to do some serious cleaning before I unbox anything, so I'm working on that, and I'll be ready by the time the show starts. So
Okay. Well, we're going to be
yeah, Dan. Here's the guilt trip. Yeah, he has to wait a week.
a week, man. That's a long time.
I'm hoping it comes in a little bit sooner. So
well, the thing is, yeah. So so there are complications logistically there, but
yeah, you've got work.
Yeah, I've got some stuff going on, but Wednesday, week from today.
Yeah, week from tonight, guys, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're doing a double live unboxing. Dan and Eric are going to be rocking their brand new Jason Fabok 1000. That was a lot of peer pressure on those pieces, but I think that both of these gentlemen are going to absolutely fall in love with those. Absolutely.
I've even got a spot. I got a spot. I got a whole situation. There's going to be some adjustments here in my collection.
any early teases of where it's going?
Nope.
What side of the room?
Yeah, nope. Nope.
Left, right.
Nope.
Blink
Nope.
left.
No,
or
no.
blink right?
That's too funny. Let's also get a check in with Jeff from Secret Sanctuary. Do you have when's that damn Wonder Woman coming in?
Well, I don't know. Like I told you, I went to see Todd on Friday, and I said, dude, I paid my shipping on both of those. And he said, I just got some in. I'll ship them out. So I'm expecting shipment notice anytime now, but it hasn't come yet.
Okay, so stay tuned to Secret Sanctuary, guys. That is probably one of your most anticipated pieces, I feel like, in forever. And so obviously, if you haven't checked out his Swamp Thing review, please make sure you do that. Absolutely incredible review. And I know that there were some complications, but you've got that figured out and fixed. So that's a good sign. And congratulations on that.
That piece looks awesome. I had no idea about the bark.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
So cool.
Like I mentioned in the video, the edition size for the 1/4 is only 238. And that's going to be like a little special club of collectors who have that piece because it's phenomenal. It's a great piece. I love everything about it. So I'm excited to get a replacement that won't have the breakage that my first one had. But yeah, it's great. They did $4.99 of the 1/6 scale. So there's twice as many of the 1/6.
Isn't that crazy?
I thought so.
Wow. It looks awesome.
Theodore says, Chris, I was waiting on a review of the New York pizza. So there is a little bit of a review sort of in the full video. So if you haven't watched the full video, I kind of added clips from previous videos, but then I did an intro where my wife and I were going to pizza and we went to Beetlejuice and went to Times Square. So you can get a little taste of the pizza, but I did end up having that pizza 3 times. So I had it Thursday night, Little Italy Pizza, and near the Empire State Building. So I had that Thursday night. Then on Saturday, when my wife went to Broadway, she brought me back a piece of pizza. So I had that evening, and then we went back Sunday before our flight. So I love that stuff. So anyway, that'll last me another couple years, I suppose. So anyway, so hopefully you'll get your Wonder Woman here real soon. Fingers crossed. How about you, Jeff Morris? Anything coming in your cave anytime soon?
I got new hearing aids this week.
Oh, there you go. That's fantastic.
So wearing hearing aids now.
I forgot. Did you end up ordering that 3rd scale Linda Carter Wonder Woman?
No.
I saw that she started to ship.
Yeah.
I saw, Jim had a video a while back of her.
Yeah.
I think that was a prototype that Sideshow sent, I think. But I did see people
felt about it from his video.
There are 3 different pieces that are shipping in the next few days. There's that one, and then the Sideshow Nightcrawler, And then there's one more. Oh, someone mentioned that, Justice Buster, you could buy the Batman by itself.
Yeah.
Someone got the shipping notification for that.
That's great news.
That's still a pretty cool quarter scale Batman.
It's a great Batman. I know a lot of people are just wanting to buy that. So
yeah,
it's a great piece. Great piece. All right. Well, let's go ahead and start moving into photos. Maybe. I updated my screen here, so I got to figure this out. So there we go.
Oh, Arch mentioned the size of the Swamp Thing box. That's a big box and very heavy. I had to unbox it in our courtyard outside and carry the pieces up.
I love when you said that. You're like, I'm not going to bring that thing up all the stairs. I love that. That was great. I don't blame you one bit.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with Darkside. You guys seen this photo yet?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this was kind of some breaking news because originally they said all these pieces were going to be 1/3. And then this week they said it's actually going to be all of these pieces in 1/4 with limited edition of 1/3. So what do you guys think of that?
Great for collectors.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the portrait?
I think it looks really good.
I do too. I'm really excited to see this one fully revealed.
Yeah.
How about the rest of you? What do you guys think?
It looks almost like a photograph. I don't even feel like I'm looking at a statue. So it's a little too good to be true. I want to see more.
Yeah.
They also said that they're going to do Penguin and Batman next. I did ask about Keaton, about Nicholson, and they said that they are still working on that one. So I don't know. One day. But beautiful, beautiful piece. I think this one is going to be incredibly popular among collectors. But it's nice that we actually get something other than a render or the backside of her, which I'm not going to complain about that either.
Yeah.
Let's move on to J&D. So, we have been, I don't know, people have been unhappy with us here on the channel because we feel like there's some negativity with J&D and the price point and things. But Jeff, you had an opportunity to see one you said this week. You saw the Catwoman.
Yeah.
What'd you think of her?
I think it's a really nice piece. As you guys know, I haven't gotten into the J&D thing. It's too expensive for me. But that particular piece, I thought the eyes were really extraordinarily lifelike. They use glass eyes. The hair, in my mind, did have kind of a Barbie-ish feel to it. But otherwise, it's a really cool piece. It's really nice. I just don't see myself spending that much money on a statue. On this one, the Wonder Woman, I'm not sure if they picked the best expression. You guys might have seen I posted one picture in my Facebook group where I kind of joked that she was looking at me disapprovingly. She has kind of a stern, disapproving look. Whereas with the Wonder Woman 84 they went more for kind of a real beauty portrait. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I like the expression that they chose, but the likeness is quite good.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Catwoman's lips?
I think that the lips were too large, and I hate to say it out loud because people who own the statue are gonna not like me anymore, but because that's the thing where I keep hearing collectors say once you see it in person they look fine, but to me they look big, and the person who owned the statue thinks that that's a problem with J&D's female portraits, that their lips all tend to be too big. He thinks the same thing about the new Harley as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
It seems to be the common thing on photos and video. You know, it's out of my price range, but I don't see the likenesses and that warrant that price.
I tend to agree. I think the likeness is good. I just don't know if it, like, again, that the Catwoman we just saw from Michelle Pfeiffer, I did confirm that that's polystone. It is not silicone. So, like, does this really need to be silicone to achieve the look? And I feel like maybe silicone is what is holding this company back a little bit, where we have had the nitpicks for the price. And maybe if it was not silicone, the price would come down a little bit. Because there's no question the bodies on these are phenomenal. The bodies look great. I mean, didn't you think the Catwoman looked great body-wise, Jeff?
It did.
And so there's no nitpick there. Again, to me, you're paying for the portrait when you're paying this price. And again, there's definitely Gal Gadot there. I don't feel like the hair is quite right. I feel like it's a little too curly. And again, it's a beautiful pose. I'm assuming it's sold out already.
I think I can't remember if Todd still has it or not. I think he might.
Interesting, Chris. I watched, one of suggested on my YouTube was Flankster dude did a comparison side by side. He had the J&D Catwoman in hand in his collection room, and he had the Prime 1 Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
Catwoman, and they had them side by side. And if I'm being honest, and J&D puts the Prime 1 to shame in terms of likeness. When they are side by side, at least in my opinion, J&D put it to shame. So much so that the Prime 1, it stops looking like the actress.
Right.
Like you just look at it, like, holy cow, wow. Which I never thought before. I always kind of liked the Prime 1 piece.
I did too. And I almost bought that piece, but I canceled it.
Yep.
And I agree. I did watch that video as well. And
it was startling.
It is startling. And again, I feel like Prime 1's really upped their game since they started working with Blitzway.
Well, and I think that's true, right? And so that is not a Blitzway piece. That
correct.
Prices. And I have a feeling if it would have been, we would have seen a different product.
I do too. And I would love to see Prime 1 and Blitzway take on those characters again.
Or that's 5 years, 6 years older, too.
Maybe not quite that old, but definitely older.
Yeah.
So that's a great point you bring up. But I do feel like the J&D looks a lot better overall. But is it $2,000 good?
And then this one took a huge price jump from those, because it's like $1,000 more than what they have been. Isn't it like 3,500 or 3,200?
35, but yeah, it's a lot more silicone though.
I was going to say this is the platinum, so this was another controversial thing.
I mean, Harley Quinn had what is Harley Quinn's body made out of? Is it polystone? Because she just has on shorts. And...
I would assume she's got a lot of clothes on.
$3,500.
$3,500, but this has a lot more.
I don't see 3,500 in it. To me, I don't. That picture needs to make me think I can't live without this.
Yeah.
And for $3,500, I want a better expression on that face. I want some more base on the base. And I want it to semi-match the size of my other 1/3 scale statues, even if they are overscaled. Because there's a big size difference between those two Catwoman statues.
Big. And Prime 1 does overscale their movie pieces a little bit. I think it's better now that they're doing it with Blitzway. Just having my Ledger Joker.
Some people in the chat are talking about Queen Studios, and I think that's a really good example of a company that's doing some remarkable likenesses in polystone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, true.
Absolutely. They really are. So I want to root for J&D, but I do feel like Sorry, guys, my throat. But I feel like they're a very good company. I just feel like there's slight misses for the price. And I feel like if they could make some changes or lower the price a little bit, I feel like people would maybe be a little bit more fair.
They've carved out a niche and they're being successful, and those fans would be happy. They don't have to have glowing reviews from everybody.
That's right.
Yep.
Just
it's an opinion. Opinions are like assholes. Ours are not necessarily right. We don't claim to be right. We
That's
don't
right.
have to like it.
That's right.
I've listened to the statue community make fun of Hot Toys collectors for years and doll collectors and all that bitch. So everybody doesn't like the same thing.
Right.
Yep. I just read one of those comments today about Hot Toys.
That's right. You like what you like.
I don't give a damn.
If I had a stupid amount of disposable income, I might pick up a couple of J&D pieces.
I might order one to see what the fuss is about.
Yeah, I would if I had the money to, like you said, I think that it would be cool to see one.
Hence, come back to Comic-Con and show off your pieces.
That's right. Let's move on to this. This is an incredible art print that Sideshow is going to be carrying from Liber Mejo. Only 50 canvases coming soon. I think I'm going to order this one.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's cool. Awesome.
Great piece. So anyway, I wanted to show you that one. This is the first time that we've seen the Superman from XM Studios all painted up. This is the kind of the white version, the white crystal with all the villains. So it's really cool. Have you guys seen these photos yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And then we also got to see it all painted up. Which one do you guys like better?
Painted.
Ooh.
Painted.
Yeah, I agree.
You kind of lose out on all the characters when it's not painted.
You do.
But at the same time, I feel like the colored version is a little bit too vibrant for my liking. I don't know.
Yeah, but
vibrant.
It's Superman.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Somebody also, I'll show you their view here, but
I love the Brainiac. I wish we can get a quarter scale Brainiac like that.
yeah, that's cool. Got a lot of great villains, and then somebody kind of mocked this up with green, but everybody said, make it blue, make it that ice blue color, and I think that would actually be kind of neat.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you guys that it would lose something.
Yeah.
Which is it's a different finish than what they did with the smoke version for Sanity.
Yeah, and then Wonder Woman had the marbled look to it. To me, I still like that one the best, I think.
Yeah, me too.
Which one?
Just the smoke.
For Wonder Woman, the marbled look.
Oh, for Wonder Woman?
Yeah, that variant, I really like the way that came out.
Yeah, that's a cool idea, actually.
I think Sanity's the clear winner for all of them, because I think the idea of having Batman in that very stoic pose with all the villains around him made a lot more sense. The Superman just looks like a massive battle.
Yeah, the Superman doesn't work so well, I think, out of the three of them.
It's my least favorite of the three. But it's cool to see them side by side like this.
I mean, I've seen the Wonder Woman in person, and I have the Sanity. I really like the Wonder Woman a lot as well. So
this one I think will be on display at that Queen Studios event. This is the brand new Thor, and again, some of these photos are a little bit older because we didn't go live like we were supposed to last week because I was getting ready to fly out, and we were traveling. What do you guys think of this one? I think it's just insanely good.
It really is.
Whoop.
Needs arms.
I agree with that.
I do too.
Yep.
I think a hammer would have been pretty awesome.
They should have turned him 3/4 turn, kind of like the Batman, even with the one arm with the hammer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been awesome. Kind of a companion piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Isn't this just insane?
That likeness is crazy.
What they're able to achieve. Queen Studios, I tell you, they just keep upping their game with everything they're doing. It's just scary good.
Yeah, that does not look like a statue. That looks like a photograph.
Right, yeah. And when you
it
zoom
looks
out a little
good,
bit,
but I'm not fully seeing the character resemblance in it. I don't know, it's just me.
I feel like there's something off with it to me in the eyes.
Man, I see him totally there.
Not me. It's like, what color do you see? Gold or?
Anyway, it's up for pre-order right now.
You know who it looks a little bit like? His brother from the Hunger Games movies.
Yeah.
Liam.
Yeah.
And the eyes and the
Yeah.
brow.
Yeah.
Like the eyes a little bit too close or something. I don't know. Something's weird.
Yeah. I felt like they're a little too close or a little too deeply set. Something.
Anyway, 3,800 for this one.
I also didn't see this movie yet, so maybe he looks different. And I'm not used to seeing. I haven't seen him in a while, so yeah.
You haven't seen Infinity War?
Isn't that's not from the newer the one with the Jane Fonda?
No, this is
That's
from
from
Infinity.
Infinity War.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I don't see it. Thought maybe it's from.
He has long hair, I think, in Love and Thunder again. Or is it short?
It's short, I think.
Oh hell, I can't remember.
I can't remember
It was
either.
That movie's on iffy ground with me. It was kind of.
This is the life-size Captain America that we were just talking about, but I thought this was a great way to promote your products.
This photo sure made the rounds that day, didn't it?
Yes, it sure did. I wonder why. I need to hire her to step in front of all my statues.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of makes you forget about the statue, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, I think, again, this will be on display at that Queen Studios event. This is a new piece from Aeon Flux from PCS, 1/3 scale. I said in my video today, is like, this is a really cool piece, but did anybody ask for it?
And 3rd scale too. Wow.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
It's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I've heard of it. I just don't know the source material. Does she?
No. I know there was a movie, maybe.
It was on MTV. It was a show on MTV where they had these little clips of animation.
Yeah,
But
I
wasn't
remember.
there a live action movie?
No, it was animated.
Yeah, at the time,
no,
I
I'm
remember the
sorry.
animation was like.
They did do a live action movie with Charlize Theron.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because she wasn't dressed like that in that movie.
No.
This is the way she was dressed in the cartoon, though.
Yeah.
What exactly is she doing? Is she flying down, falling like down, or is she attached to something? I don't know.
There's a lot of like gymnast moves in that show. But interesting. Again, 3rd scale, so coming from PCS. Oh, this was a really cool piece. This is I think it was a Ronin.
So that's from that Star Wars animated show on Disney Plus, where they gave it to different animators to do their version of Star Wars.
That's cool.
This was one of the most popular episodes of that show.
Looks really neat.
Yeah.
It's a cool statue. Thought that one was neat to mention at least. Here's the one we talked about earlier, the probe droid. This is really cool.
If they price that right, they're going to sell a gajillion of these.
Yeah.
Yep.
I said the only thing I wish that they had maybe done is I wish they had maybe made the pole clear.
They
So it
couldn't
kinda
do it. They talked about it.
Oh, did they? Why could they not make it clear?
They couldn't find a material to support the weight.
Wow.
That's crazy heavy then.
That's
Wow.
cool looking.
But really cool. It's a big piece. You can see how large it is here.
I'm so curious about the price.
You think it'll be 600-ish?
No, I think it'll be at least 8.
Ooh.
For
Really?
real.
Wow.
I'm just guessing. I'm thinking $7.99 sounds about right. It's going to have sound effects and a light feature.
No.
I didn't know about the sound effects.
Yeah. And it's big.
I was trying to watch some of this stuff on the plane ride home, so I missed
just
out on
think
some of it.
I just think Star Wars license and those added features, maybe $7.99.
Yeah, you might be right.
We'll
I didn't
see.
know about the electronics, but really cool piece.
That could be another reason why they didn't. Well, depends where the sound board is, but maybe that's why they didn't go with the clear rod, so they can run the wires up to it.
No, that's a good
Right.
point.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's a great point. We saw the Riddler unveiled a little bit more of a traditional Riddler portrait, and then we also can see the 3 portraits now. Dan, are you still a no on this one, or what do you think?
I'm a no. I'm a no on this one. At least right now.
Yeah.
You know how it goes. But
Yeah,
for right now, I've kind of, you know, I'm pretty happy with my samurai lineup. And with, you know, space being at the premium that it is,
yep,
to really consider how much deeper I want to go. And I think if I can be happy with what I have right now, it's probably a good place to stop on that line.
Yeah.
Until Mr. Freeze is shown.
Until
I know.
Mr. Freeze, and it, you know, it depends. Look, if this character would have blew me away, you know, I mean, it looks great. Don't get me wrong. It's great, but you know, who knows? Maybe Mr. Freeze, who knows? But
yep, never know.
I
Yeah.
think I'm so desperate for a Riddler statue. I'm actually considering this. If I do keep my top cabinets 1/4 on the top, I'm considering it. I'm like, well, it kind of looks like the 0 year piece with the wood, you know, branches coming down the roots, and I'm like, maybe it could be like a 0 year Riddler.
It's still a cool piece.
But then I'm like, nah, I'll just wait for a company to make a comic book Riddler.
Yeah. Now, this is a new Wolverine from XM Studios.
Oh, that's the bad. You show the switch outs if you have a picture.
Yeah, I've got a lot. I've got that
Okay.
one.
No one liked that one.
So no one liked this one. This was I kind of tried to put them in order here. So like this is the one no one liked,
Yep.
and then you go this guy.
Now we're getting better.
Now we're getting better. That right there.
Yep.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And the arms up. I mean, versus the arms down, but like the arms up are really cool.
Way better.
Yeah, look at that.
That's cool.
It's really cool. So got some options there with that one. This is a quarter scale, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, he's jacked.
Yeah,
He's jacked.
the size of his arms.
It's just
Anyway.
the same pose, though. You see the same poses a lot.
Yeah. There they are with the different torsos. So that's how you change it out,
Nice.
which is cool. I like the base on it. That's kind of
cool.
a neat base.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is cool.
I like that. This is some production photos of Black Adam.
They're having the premiere tonight in New York City.
Yeah, I was going to say shout out to The Rock and all those guys. I saw the premiere earlier going on.
They actually, I don't know if anybody else had one. I received a flyer or a ticket to it as I was walking the convention floor.
I did too.
Yeah.
So there's a big event in Times Square tonight.
I hope it's good.
I did
It
too.
looks good. I don't know if it was a trailer because I haven't really been paying attention to the trailers, but I was watching a scene with him fighting against Hawkman, and it looked great. So I'm excited for it now.
So anyway, they also featured him at the Sideshow Con, along with the green Poison Ivy, the Gabrielle sculpted Aquaman and Joker. What do you guys think of Green Ivy?
I like it better.
I like it better.
I do as well.
And then we also got quarter scale Joker.
Looks good.
Massive.
Who's getting this? Anybody getting this?
I canceled it.
I think, not positive, but I think I am getting a copy of this next week.
Oh, wow.
Quarter scale?
Quarter.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's a big piece.
Ish.
It does look, it's a big ass statue.
So be on the lookout on the channel for this, guys. So I can show you exactly how big it is. But it's crazy. So anyway, you have the 6
Oh, there you go.
Look at that.
Was that supposed to be in there?
Yeah,
Okay.
this was posted by Tweeterhead.
It's
Believe me, I'm really careful.
it's crazy the size difference. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I love that Joker. It's just everything else that comes with it. There's a lot of room.
that's what's great about the 6 scale, then, you know, and the 6 scale's big.
Well, I want a Joker to go with these guys.
It'd be a good one.
Half of them have to move, but
Yeah. This one was their Superman that XM's doing. They are updating the paints. So I've got the prototype that I still haven't unboxed yet since I've been so busy. Hopefully I'll have it soon for you guys. But they're updating the paint to make it look better. I think they've done that. I think it looks better here.
Yeah, the skin tones look good.
Yeah, skin tones look a lot better than they did. So they're listening to feedback for sure. So that's a good sign.
Yep.
Eyes look a little small to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's where they did that in the Sideshow bust too. Remember, like the eyes were too
Yeah.
Yep.
squinted.
mhm.
I talked to Aang, and he, they're really trying to stay true to Mark Brooks's art that submitted art for this. So Aang has understood and has heard the complaints, but again, they're trying to honor the artist. This is a new line from XM. I believe it's the 4 Horsemen. So they have this on display as well. Kind of a cyborg, type character. Kind of neat.
These are that's cool as hell.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have that guy, and they have this lady here.
That's
These
cool.
are cool.
Yeah, it's a neat lineup of these 4 characters.
Now I wonder
There
if,
she is right there. Look at that.
so these are non-licensed characters, right?
Right.
So I wonder if they'll be able to do the same kind of attractive pricing that Sideshow's done with
Court of the Dead.
Court of the Dead. Thank you. Yeah,
I would-
with Court of the Dead.
I would certainly hope so.
Sideshow's Court of the Dead pieces. I remember the first time I saw those in person, I think was actually that New York 2019, being blown away. Those pieces are intricate. They are really, really cool, super detailed and intricate like this. And they're like $749. I think the one I was looking at. The pricing is really good.
Yeah.
I agree. It's strange how these statue companies, when they go off and do their own pieces, how great they come out. It's like the same thing with XM, how XM, the samurai pieces look so much better than their comic book pieces.
Yep. Yep. They really do.
There's a lot of creativity in these companies. Sometimes they're kind of pigeonholed to what the DC or Marvel licenses or Star Wars or whatever say.
That's true. Yeah.
But
Chris,
these are neat.
Are these quarter scale?
I think so.
And do you know if they're up for PO?
Not yet.
Okay.
Maybe this guy that went on the horse might be.
You considering them, Dan?
No.
Okay.
But they're
Well,
if you
not right
had
now.
room, maybe.
Yeah, right. They'd have to go in another room.
This one I thought was somebody posted this today, and I thought it was really cool because it lets you kind of see the size difference between Infinity Studios, which is Batman and Superman, versus Queen Studios, Wonder Woman, and Joker. So if you are interested in pairing them up, they look okay together, but there is a difference you can really see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
And that's a lot of money to spend to figure out there's a size difference between them.
correct. That's why I wanted to make sure I posted this photo.
That's happened to me with the quarter scales, and I was kind of angry. I can imagine if that happened to me on
A $4,000 statue.
4,000 each, like $20,000 setting right there.
Yeah.
That Batman is still amazing.
Yeah. He's incredible. I love this Joker. I still would maybe want to get this one.
He looks good there. Yeah.
He looks real good. This is a photo of my new Batman. I just want to congratulate everybody again that has picked this one up. I think you're going to be very, very pleased with it. Again, congratulations to Dan and Eric.
Yeah. Looking forward
Again,
to that.
double live unboxing, guys. Next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Not going to want to miss it.
Hey, Chris, I'd like to do a bit of a favor here for somebody that's actually in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Fellow collector Bryan Diehl. So Bryan, in attempting to hunt down, not that you have to hunt too hard right now, at least the Batman Detective 1000, saw the collector's edition go waitlist, ended up, without going into all the details, he's got 2 of them.
Oh wow. Oh
Two-
yeah.
He's got 2 of the DXs. He's in Arizona, so I think he's in the Phoenix area somewhere. But I talked to him earlier today, and I told him I'd mention it, that he has an extra piece, might be able to help somebody out that's in that part of the country that, maybe an opportunity to avoid shipping. He said he's happy to do a meetup.
Wow.
So if you're interested, reach out to Bryan. Like I said, he's in the chat right now. Bryan Diehl. He's a great guy. I've talked to him off and on for a while. Really great collector and trusted seller. So might be a great opportunity to grab yourself a DX with at a lower total cost. So
That's a great deal. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So a great deal for Bryan Diehl. So there you go. I love it. I love it. So anyway, congrats to everybody that's getting this piece. It's just a phenomenal piece.
And it's small. I think that can fit in a Diehl, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Sure, no
on
problem.
top of one, at
Yeah,
least.
on top of one, maybe.
Right before it crushes it into like shavings. Of
That's
glass.
right. You just look at that. Look how cool that looks.
It doesn't look too deep. I'm looking at it next to the XM Bad Bike, and it looks like
Yeah, it's not
those
bad.
shells are the same depth, right?
Those are the same depth because that thing is listed at 27 inches deep or something, and it doesn't look it there.
Yeah, I think that the measurements were not right.
Okay. That makes me feel a whole hell of a
Yeah.
lot better.
This was another piece that they showed at Sideshow Con, which I think is quite awesome.
I love this.
Yeah.
I really do.
Did it sell out? Yeah, I remember it was on low alert, low
The
stock alert.
exclusive waitlisted, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did it really? Wow.
Yep.
It's a really beautiful piece. Some people have felt it's a little bit Michael Jackson-y in the face,
Yeah, I was about to say
That's
that.
fair.
which I can see a little bit, but it's still a lovely piece. It's very creative the way they did the, there's literally nothing under her.
I wish they would have went because I did watch this part of the show. I wish they would have went into explanation of what exactly they did. I mean, I have theories of how they did it, but I would like to hear how they engineered it.
Yeah.
I remember they did that for the Pogo stick Joker,
Yes.
the premium format. They gave like the whole schematics of how
Yep.
the metal rods are running throughout the seats and into the base.
Yeah.
And the Rogue, the X-Men Rogue, I think they
Yep.
did that.
I'm assuming there's a metal rod running throughout the entire base, and then
Yeah, it's
that's
gotta go this way.
counterweighting. Yeah, the weight going up to her and into the seat that she's sitting on.
Something.
It's pretty incredible. We also had the Daniel Bell Dark Knight Batman on display. Again, we saw this at San Diego.
He's a beast.
Beast. Here they are side by side with the Joker.
They look good together.
They do.
Yeah.
Big piece. Big piece.
Big.
I'm
Very-
still debating on it.
Very bright. I think as you said in your review or one of your videos, it's like a big table lamp or something.
Yeah, I was going to say you can use it as a nightlight.
Yeah.
Daniel Bell Joker. Cannot wait for this one. So excited. I love this one.
Chris,
So
I
does-
saw
what is
this
this
one
last
in
one?
your in
Or
your
go ahead.
New York Sideshow Con reaction video. I had the chance to watch that earlier today.
Yeah.
I felt like in that video, this piece looked better than it had to me, at least from the photos that they initially posted.
I agree.
Well, I think part of the problem, like San Diego, they had a really bad glass glare.
Yeah.
Which made all of the photos, even their own photos, look kind of distorted. Whereas I feel like this one, it really lets you see the detail, which is quite awesome.
What I found in your reaction video, and maybe I hadn't looked at it in a while, and it felt in these pictures, even this one, if I'm being honest, the colors look kind of muddy, like it's really almost too dark, just all dark. And in the video with the good lighting on it, I felt like it looked much lighter. The colors looked more distinct and it just looked better. So I'd encourage anybody that's thinking about this one, don't be, if you're put off by the color, because all the bad pictures, watch that reaction video. There's some really good footage of it.
Yeah. Even the Batman too. I was seeing more details in the Batman.
Yep.
On that video.
Yep. True.
I'd like to be able to see a better video of the face and the eyes, because in a lot of their photos, the eyes have a zombie look. Like there's.
Yeah, I can see that, Eric. I mean, Jeff. Yep, you're right. Yep.
They look like Walking Dead zombie eyes, where they look kind of. There's a milky haze. I thought the base looked better in these pictures and videos.
I like the base in person way more than I thought I would like it.
Yep.
It looks a lot more detailed than it comes across before.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's a crazy piece.
Yep.
So, Dan, after Sunday, do you want to buy this piece?
Okay, so could you, Chris, zoom in more on that, please?
What part do you want me to zoom in? Oh,
the portrait.
Okay, the portrait. Sorry, you had to be specific.
I don't know. I'm going to have to give this one some thought, and I'm going to have to look at even more pictures.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because we met Alice and Tabitha.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, from that perspective,
and she was wearing this exact outfit.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be cool to put that picture of like you together with Alice and Tabitha next to this?
Right.
Oh, by the way, Alice and Tabitha. Holy cow.
Holy cow.
Wow. Is all I can say about that.
That's all you can say.
But yes, I mean, she was wearing this exact outfit.
Oh, sorry.
Uh-oh, somebody's excited.
Dog's excited about Alice and Tabitha too. Very excited about Alice and Tabitha.
I still have the thought in my head around, taking this and creating my own base. Because I couldn't have this base. I just don't like it. But I think she looks pretty good. So at a reasonable, this might be one of those. Do we know what the ES is on this?
No, not yet.
I don't think they haven't announced it yet.
This might be one of those that, you kind of wait on for a sideshow sale. Like hopefully they put like a 3,000 ES on it or something and wait for it to go on sale.
It looks better in these photos than it has before.
I have a feeling that this one's more substantial than she looks in pictures.
Yeah.
She looked really good in person. I felt like her face was a little soft in person. But I feel like it's a little crisper here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think she looks great.
Yeah, I like the pose. I mean, the whole thing. I think it's cool.
So this is her name on the base.
Yes, Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
In like melted candle or something.
I just don't feel pressure to pre-order her.
I think it's like an acid trip or something.
It
I think that's really what's meant to be. If like from the movie, like she's constantly like seeing like these weird visions and stuff.
Right. Yep.
This would break my rule though. No quarter scale movie pieces.
Chris, come on.
Should have done King Shark.
It wouldn't be a Wednesday if you didn't break a rule.
I know.
I like Dan's idea. Make a cosplay tribute the statue.
Yep, I know. My little Alice and Tabitha wing of the collection.
Your wife will love that one.
Yep.
And then you get that girl to pose next to your stuff and that too, and you'll be living in those boxes.
That's right. A little box fort. This was done by PCS. This is a Christian Bale. I think this one's pretty fun with the blood splatter.
That's a variant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The blood spatter variant.
That's right. Exactly right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
People love that movie.
They sure do. American Psycho.
That's a crazy movie. So if I'm being full confession, I just watched this movie for the first time, like, I don't know, not even 6 months ago. It's kind of wacky.
It's wacky.
It is crazy. Holy cow.
It's a weird movie.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Let's move on to something even cooler. How about this PCS Turtles?
Yeah, that's cool.
Did we see this one in San Diego, Jeff? I can't remember. Or was it just Raphael?
We saw this one unpainted.
Okay, that's what it was. I was like, I couldn't remember if we saw this one or not.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to go back and watch the footage, but these are so fun.
Yeah.
Really neat. Again, these are 1/3 scale. Really good stuff. Got all the mouser droids.
Looks good.
These will look just so good all together. This one was the we didn't actually get to see this at San Diego, but this is the Boba Fett and Han in carbonite, sculpted by Matt Black. I think this one's a lot of fun.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah.
Some folks don't like how far back he's leaning, but I like it.
Mhm.
But that's only if you view it from the side, though. I think that from the front, it looks really good.
And there's multiple light up features, and it's going to be cool.
Yeah, I just think, and this isn't up for pre-order yet, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is already up for pre-order. Okay.
How much was it?
I want to say like $775 or something.
Hmm.
You're basically getting 2 pieces,
Yeah.
which isn't bad. I like it. I think it's
I
awesome.
like it better than that probe droid thing.
I think they're both cool.
Yeah, it's $775.
770. Good memory.
Well, I'm thinking about this one.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
This is, I think, this is PCS, right?
Yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah, the 1/6.
Mm-hmm.
They have him, and they had. Oh, I thought I had some more pictures. Maybe I do. They also had The Witcher. This is the brand new 1/4 scale, right? Quarter scale from.
I think it's 1/3.
Or maybe it is.
Girl.
This one's pretty gory. It's pretty awesome. Actually, this is a lot cleaner. The one they showed on the website is real bloody. Maybe there's a alternate sword.
A bloody variant.
Yeah, like a bloody variant, very similar to the PCS piece we just looked at. But again, it's always cool to see these under like real conditions, real lighting instead of the studio stuff. I think this one's just going up for pre-order this week. Cool to see. This one I like.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, 6 scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
On
Yeah.
all these.
That's pretty nice.
I think it's fun. It's got some nice movement to her.
Yeah.
Good sculpt. Good. The face looks good. Cool piece. This one has started to ship finally. I think
Yeah,
this was one of the first on pre-order. I think this is the Dark Knight's metal piece from Prime One Studio. I think she looks phenomenal.
She looks great.
Really good. Congratulations to Chester and everybody else getting this one. Beautiful. Love the base on this one. Looks good. So that's shipping out right now into Asian collectors and then hopefully the United States in the next couple months. I think this is my favorite of all of them. Also, Zatanna started shipping. I think she also looks really good.
She does.
This would be a hard one to pass up. I love the stage.
Or
Don't
even,
love this portrait.
even without the stage, it looks really good.
Yeah, and I love that they offered both. So you can,
Yeah.
it's a lot cheaper without the stage. It's a little bit more simple.
Yeah. As of right now, this is my favorite Zatanna statue.
It's really good. But yeah, the stage is so cool. The curtains and everything else. It's just a really nice looking piece. It's kind of almost like a diorama. It's cool. So congratulations to everybody that's picking her up. We got some in-hand photos of the Black Widow. What do you think of this? I know, Jeff, you're still getting this one, correct?
Yeah, I'm getting both of them.
And so what do you think? What are your thoughts? I think it looks just like the prototype.
Yeah, I do too.
I know some people are complaining about her face, but I think it looks exactly like what they advertised.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I don't see any different, really. I think I do prefer this white one versus the black one.
You're getting both, Jeff, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get both, and then I'll decide if I'm gonna keep both or sell one of them. If I like one of them a lot more than the other, I might sell one.
I think it looks like her. This was one that Ang teased today. I think it's like a Nova character. This guy.
Okay. Yeah. That was the one we thought he was slam dunking a basketball.
Yeah. That's the base. So they're showing us the base painted. Some nice blues.
That's cool.
Full gore, which I didn't know what this was, but it's from a game called Killer Instinct.
Yep.
Some people have commented today that they feel like there's the paint applications don't look good on it. There's no weathering. The lasers looked weird. I don't know the character enough to comment.
The lasers looked weird.
Yeah. But I guess some people were not happy with the way this is looking.
They're supposed to be coming out of his eyes. It looks more like something shot through the back of his head.
Yeah, exploding into his head. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also said the base looks very similar to the Batman Who Laughs.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
it really does.
It's very, very similar
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, it does.
from Sideshow.
Huh. Even the pose.
Yeah, even the pose is very similar. This is the new Rogue.
Jean Grey.
Oh yeah, Jean Grey. Yeah, sorry, Jean Grey from XM. I'm a little underwhelmed by this one.
Yeah.
The other portrait where she has irises looks better.
I don't know if I have pictures of that. I might. Let's see. Yeah, that does look.
I
better.
agree, Jeff. That
Yeah,
looks
that
way
looks
better.
way better.
Way better.
Yeah. I changed my mind. I like it now.
Yeah, the suit looks good.
Yeah, that I don't like that at all, but this I like.
Looks a lot like Sideshows from a few years ago now.
It does.
And I love that Sideshow piece.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. Base is pretty cool too with the
Sentinel hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sentinel, but are Sentinels usually that small?
Mm,
No, you usually get just the hand.
it's one of those forced perspective bases.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful portrait. Cool piece. And there she is next to Nightcrawler, just to give you an idea of scale. Quarter scale here. This guy started shipping. What do you guys think in hand? I think it looks fantastic.
I need better pictures.
Jeez.
Not sure about that pose.
Yeah, I don't.
That's always been the complaint from the start, that people thought the pose was too stiff and that it's exactly like Silver Surfer.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but you're right.
Yeah.
It is stiff. You can wrap the cape around him like this.
It doesn't help.
But I don't know if it helps either.
No, because it just looks like an awkward pose. It looks like he's kind of pushing his hips forward or something. Like,
Yeah.
Do the pelvic thrust. And it'll drive you insane.
That's kind of what I thought of when you said.
Let's do the time warp again.
It's called the bat thrust.
I think you need to
right.
see the arms, or it really throws it out of whack.
that's a tough one.
But I really like the portrait. I think that initially I saw some pictures that I wasn't really sold on, but I think that they did a really good job with the Bale portrait from Begins. But
Yeah,
you're right. It's just something. And
these
again,
aren't great pictures either.
they're not. It's got bad flashes.
Yeah.
This is better here, but
He's almost got like a dad bod thing happening. That
Yeah.
stick your gut out.
See, I was thinking the cape wrapped around them would help, and now that I'm actually seeing it, it doesn't. It looks worse with the cape wrapped.
You just need to wrap it all the way around.
Yeah, okay. What if you cross the cape in front of him completely? You just see the chest. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what'll save it, but
So
I do.
Punisher XS makes a good comment in the chat. He said there's no motion in the pose, and I think that's a good point.
Yeah. It would almost been cool if he was like crouching down.
Well, he's supposed to be like on top of the rooftop. Look like kind of. I don't know.
I mean, it's taken directly from the movie, so it's like
Yeah.
that's. I just I feel like maybe they could have chosen something a little bit more dynamic.
Right.
But I do like the portrait. I think the portrait's really good.
And they did a Bale Batman before. In fact, it was Harbottle that did it, and I think that's a better piece.
This one here.
Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go.
that one
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
should have that one.
That's a cool pose.
Yeah, I think that's a better piece too. We got a new Magneto from XM. I haven't heard a lot of love for this one.
He's been working out.
Yeah, he's big.
Yeah, he's jacked.
He's getting ready to fight that Wolverine statue.
They've definitely, they've definitely tweaked him.
That's funny.
I think they've been working out together.
Yeah.
I think so too. Definitely hitting arm day.
Yep. Oh, he's not missing leg day either on this.
Yeah, no, not at all. So anyway, that's coming from XM as well. Quarter scale. Well, this was pretty cool. This is a 10th scale from Iron Studios. It's kind of a neat Batman.
Head looks small.
Yeah, he's pretty big too. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until you said it, but a little bit. Got a Mr. Freeze helmet down here.
Mr. Freeze helmet looks small too.
Oh, it is 10 scale. So it's like the size of your pinky.
Yeah, but if you looked, I don't know, maybe it's because behind him. Like if you held that Freeze helmet up to like his head, would his head actually fit in that helmet? Like, I don't know.
Nope,
No.
it wouldn't. It's a good point. Maybe you noticed that real quick too, so
Might be a perspective thing though.
it might be. Got a new McFarlane black and white coming. They teased it at New York Comic Con. So that line continues, folks. We're not stopping at 100. In-hand photos, Queen Studios 3rd scale Joker. What do you guys think?
Woof.
Did I hear oof?
He just
Woof.
Yeah, woof.
That's rough.
That is some heavy looking makeup,
yeah,
looking cakey.
yeah.
Not good cakes.
That's awful.
Yeah, just say it.
I don't know.
It's like in the box. I think it looks okay from the distance. I don't know about how close up you want to get to it, but
Anything looks good from a distance.
yes, it does. Just depends on how far away you need to be.
Like
This is the rooted hair version. I do think the likeness is very good. I'm just not sure about the final paint. Again, these are the only photos that I have, so who knows if it'll be better. I've got a guest review coming up on this one. This is the 6th scale from XM. This is Shazam. A little guest review coming up, but kind of a fun piece.
when you see pics of this one faced off with their Black Adam, it looks pretty darn cool.
It's real dynamic. I really like the cape with the hood. Something kind of fun. Really cool base.
Yep.
Really cool. This guy right here from Queen Studios has also started to ship, along with their Batman Who Laughs. But I think it looks pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like the prototype.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks just like it. It's going to be a big piece. But textures look good. Paint looks good.
Feel like Black Panther sitting. Who's been sitting on my throne?
Yeah, it does feel like a Black Panther piece. Here you can see it next to the Hulk. I thought this was cool to see the size comparison between Batman and Hulk. I do think Hulk is the better piece
Yeah.
between the two.
Two characters I don't need to see on a throne.
That's right. They also had the Toy Arts one. I think it's Toy Arts, right? Toy Arts. Now I can't remember. I think it's Toy Arts.
I can't remember either.
Look how great this cover is.
That's awesome.
And I believe Dan ordered this one, right?
I did, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Great cover.
Love it. I think I've got 5 or 6 of the covers from that number one.
Yeah, it's
They're
gonna be
awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. Got a couple of hot toys here. This is for Mandalorian. Wanted to highlight this, so you guys can see this one coming out soon. Thought the likeness is okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting down to the end here. We've got another maquette from Regal Robot. This was a lot more affordable than some of the other ones we've talked about, but this is a concept maquette, which I thought was kind of neat. But you can see that it's just like it fits in your hand. It's a lot smaller.
Yeah. It's a cool idea.
Deadpool print.
Just like this premium format behind me.
Yeah, it's really
Same
cool.
pose.
Yeah, I had a chance to see that at New York Comic Con. It looked good.
Yep.
Yeah, it did look real good.
They had him next to the cable from Sideshow.
Yeah, I really didn't need a Deadpool in my collection, but I liked it so much I picked it up.
It's fun. Got an April O'Neil from Iron Studios. Got some turtle stuff coming. That's up for pre-order. I thought the portrait looked really good on her.
Mm-hmm.
For 1/10 scale. And you also had this one from He-Man. He-Man stuff's very, very popular right now. I thought he looked really good at 1/10.
Yeah.
Had a Black Adam as well. I think this one looks pretty good. Pretty good likeness. Not perfect. Not bad. Not perfect. But again, it's 10 scale. But the textures look really good on the suit. Not too shabby. That's up for pre-order right now. Doctor Strange. Pretty crazy piece. Again, 10 scale. Also had many faces. If you're a He-Man collector. It was really interesting talking with George Raw. Again, flying all the way from Germany to be at New York Comic Con, and this is what he started out with was He-Man. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Did you see his helicopter video?
Oh my God, so awesome! He sent me a whole bunch of photos, and like every photo was just amazing. But yeah, the helicopter video was incredible.
That was crazy.
So cool. Again, it was just such a pleasure to meet him. I think that's it. That's it right there. It tells the whole story.
That third day, my legs were like jello. I couldn't even feel my legs.
Yep.
It was awesome. It was an awesome experience. Again, I'm so glad that we did that. Even though, again, there were times where I'm like, well, maybe I should just not come if there's not gonna be statues and stuff. And I'm so glad I came.
Yep.
Again, I would not have changed the experience in my life. So it's like, I would not have changed anything. So, anything from all of that we saw tonight? Anything that's on your interest list?
That Suicide Squad Harley is definitely on my radar.
She's good. I really like the XM Riddler Samurai still.
Oh, I heard something interesting the other day.
What do you got?
Do you remember a while back, Queen Studios, when they put out one of their big lists of stuff they're going to bring out, they were going to do a line of Batfleck statues.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was really weird. They announced it as a 1/9 scale.
Oh,
Weird.
And everybody was like, what the hell? Well, apparently they announced a few days ago they're going to do them in quarter.
Oh, wow.
Oh, jeez.
It's like 5 Batfleck statues all in 1 quarter.
That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
And because they all looked good. I mean, that's the thing is that's why everybody was like, "What the crap?" Because everybody liked the way they looked.
Right.
Did they do that with Iron Man too? They had a whole bunch of Iron Man statues. Or am I thinking of somebody else?
They've done all quarter, I think.
They showed the lineup of those with that Hulkbuster when they showed. There was a silhouette of.
Yeah.
Well, they got a bunch of half-scale Iron Mans too.
Yeah, and full scale. They've got an Iron Man to fit every
occasion
whim
Yeah.
you want.
They're targeting the completionist who needs them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get the whole set.
The line collectors.
There you go.
Well, that's interesting news. Again, that along with the Dark Side Batman characters being quarter scale too. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm really curious about Darkseid in the next few years. If they can really put out quality pieces, they're gonna make a mark.
I hope they do. I obviously you've seen the quality firsthand.
Yeah.
We're just going off of speculation for the most part until you got your piece in, and then we kind of harped on them at the first because we're like, some of the paint on their hands looked bad and stuff, but I do feel like they're another company on the rise, and it's good to see. And we can't thank enough the variety out there because.
Do you think that's a good move though to put out that many Batfleck statues at once? Because
I don't know if they're going to put them all out at once or not.
Uh,
I don't know how they're going to scatter it.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. But again, I feel like the more the better. To offer the variety out there of different versions of characters. I want to give another shout out real quick to Weta. We saw that Joker in person. That thing looked incredible.
It looked really good.
I couldn't believe how good it looked. And so, I know that there's some flack there with certain pieces, but that Joker, it looked so good in person. I was really blown away by it.
You know what? I had an interesting conversation about Weta, and people complain about that Superman, and it's not something I would ever buy.
Yeah.
But if you're wondering why it's so far off with the likeness, apparently they did not buy the Cavill likeness license.
Wow.
So they couldn't make it look like Cavill.
Interesting.
Then why do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I would be at too. It's like if you can't get the likeness, do a comic book version.
They're like, we'll teach you. We're going to do it anyway.
Yep.
But
I showed them.
but that to me is risky business, because if you're promoting this as a movie version, but then after it's already released and you say, "Oh, never mind, we didn't actually have the license," I think that's kind of a slap, don't you think?
Well, I have a feeling it's two different licenses. They had to have a license, but I think there is a actor likeness license, and then
Justice League.
Yeah, I think you need both.
That's interesting. I'm sure you're right. Because I'm thinking of Tweeterhead's Catwoman. I know he needed Michelle Pfeiffer's likeness, but he also probably needed a DC movie license too.
Well, look at the Weta Joker. They clearly had that likeness.
Yeah.
License.
Yeah, because it's fantastic. But I just think I think they got to be careful there, though.
Yeah.
Or at least say that up front. I don't know, because I mean, the problem too is the prototype looked really great.
He looked better.
He looked better. I mean, his face looks more square. His jaw looked good.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it looked like Cavill. So I don't know. But anyway, options out there are very good. Well, I know that at least this top row of gentlemen are incredibly tired from the weekend's events. And so, I've obviously been sick and I am feeling much better. So I'm going to rest up this weekend, prepare for next week. I know we have next Wednesday, we've got the double live unboxing. I've got at least 2 unboxings to do. I've got the Arkham Knight Harley, which I just got in before I left. So that one will be unboxed. And then also the XM Superman. I don't know what day. I might do one this weekend. It just kind of depends on how I feel. but I need to rest up. I know these gentlemen need to rest up. And again, I just want to say to the Jeffs, you guys were, severely missed. But again, hopefully we can absolutely do it something where we can all hang together, because that was just an absolute blast. And again, I want to thank Dan and Eric for all the good times we had in New York. That was incredible.
Likewise, it was awesome, boys.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you.
Just absolutely awesome. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you're all doing great out there. Have a great rest of your week. Anything coming up from the sanctuary, Jeff?
Just waiting on those 2 Wonder Womans.
Yep. So fingers crossed that'll come very soon.
Yep.
Eric, anything else besides Jason Fabok Batman coming to your channel? Do you have anything else you're working on? Any other videos?
Just repair videos. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a review on that one or not. I don't know. I'm worn out. I can't keep up.
I was
I don't know how you do videos every day. It wears me
I
out.
don't either. I just run on fumes 24/7. So anyway, check out All Things Art as well as Secret Sanctuary, both, if you haven't done so already. And again, thanks for everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you soon in the Batcave. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See you guys.
Good night. Thank you.
Take care.